From the global resources of ABC News, with Terry Moran in Washington, Martin Bashir and Cynthia McFadden in New York City, this is Nightline, November 26, 2007.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Terry Moran, and tonight we head out on the campaign trail with Barack Obama in an exclusive interview. It's good timing. Obama's on a bit of a roll right now, rising in the polls neck and neck with Hillary Clinton in all-important Iowa. And today, Obama got a big boost from his staunch supporter, Oprah Winfrey. The campaign announced the talk show host will be joining the candidate out on the trail in critical states, Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina. It's all part of the tight, rollicking, and increasingly acrimonious Democratic race, where Obama's really gone on the offensive against Senator Clinton, and it looks like it might be working. Nightline had behind-the-scenes access on a jam-packed day I spent with him in Iowa for the latest installment of our series, The Contenders.
The next president of the United States, Senator Barack Obama.
Barack Obama is coming out swinging. With just over a month to go before the crucial Iowa caucuses, Obama has really sharpened his rhetoric on the stump, and voters seem to like it.
I hear candidates saying, elect me because I've been in Washington a long time, I know how to play the game better. We don't need somebody who knows how to play the game better. We need somebody to put an end to the game playing. That's what we need in America right now. Somebody who's going to be straightforward and honest.
Wow, thank you.
You know who he's talking about there. He's talking about Hillary.
Much. I hope you'll consider caucusing for me on January 3rd.
And over the course of a long day on the campaign trail with Obama this weekend, we were struck by how directly, how personally he is now willing to take on Hillary Clinton, his main rival and the Democratic national frontrunner.
Senator Clinton is claiming basically the entire 8 years of the Clinton presidency as her own, except for the stuff that didn't work out, in which case she says she has nothing to do with it.
We caught up with Obama early Saturday morning at Chicago's Midway Airport, not far from his home, for a flight to western Iowa over the frozen fields and rivers. On board, he read a bit and chewed some Nicorette gum. He's been trying to quit smoking. This trip is a challenge for Obama, taking him through rural counties where Democrats are more conservative and relatively scarce, and African Americans even scarcer. But like any good politician, he works quickly to put people at ease.
How was Thanksgiving?
Great, great.
You had a good time?
Did you eat enough? But you got to do that.
I was out for the count after 2 plates. There was a time when I could get away with 3, but not anymore.
And he has some fun with the crowd here and elsewhere with the recent genealogical discovery that he is distantly related to Vice President Cheney.
Well, it doesn't help when you put my cousin Dick Cheney in charge of energy policy. So everybody's got a black sheep in the family.
It's part of his sell that he can cross all the lines that divide us. Confidence is not something this man lacks.
What are you doing out here in western Iowa? It's rural. I wouldn't think it's Barack Obama country out here.
You know, every place is Barack Obama country once Barack Obama's been there. No, look, this is, we purposely come to areas like this, and as we travel along this western part of Iowa, this is more conservative, more rural community. It's not necessarily my natural constituency. But what we find is that when we get a chance to talk to people and interact with them and answer questions, that we've got a good base of support in these areas. So in some ways, I actually enjoy these more.
Obama seems to be enjoying some momentum throughout Iowa right now. The most recent ABC News Washington Post poll has him leading Hillary Clinton by 4 points. That's within the margin of error, but it's a big reason the campaign rhetoric has gotten hotter and sharper recently. And Senator Clinton is zeroing in on the question of experience, taking specific aim at this claim Obama made in Iowa recently.
The strongest experience that I have is in foreign relations. Is the fact that I spent 4 years living overseas when I was a child in Asia, in Southeast Asia. And my father's from Kenya. That's where I got my name from. He's passed away now, but I still have family there.
Clinton pounced on that like a cat on a goldfish.
And with all due respect, I don't think living in a foreign country between the ages of 6 and 10 is foreign policy experience.
That was a pretty sharp jab.
You know, we must be doing pretty well in Iowa. She wasn't paying much attention to what I said before then. Yeah.
But she does, her claim is that as somebody who was in the White House, lived in the White House for 8 years, she's far more prepared to deal with world problems than you are.
Look, you know, if this is a resume contest, then she certainly doesn't have the strongest resume of the people on the stage. I mean, I think that, you know, if the question is longevity in Washington, then probably the top three candidates right now in the Democratic primary can't make that claim. The question is, who's got the judgment and the vision to move the country forward?
Hello there, how you doing?
But Obama is going farther in his attack on Hillary Clinton and challenging the basic argument of her campaign, that her experience at Bill Clinton's side makes her the best qualified candidate to be president.
I have no problem with her making claims on behalf of her work as First Lady being relevant to the presidency. That's her prerogative. What she can be is selective in terms of, you know, cherry picking and making determinations that she's now suddenly the face of foreign policy, that she, you know, shaped economic policy, except for the stuff that didn't work out, in which case that was somebody else's problem or somebody else's fault.
So you think her being First Lady isn't all that, isn't as much as she's claiming?
Well, look, I have no doubt that, you know, she's an intelligent, capable woman. There's no doubt that Bill Clinton had faith in her and consulted with her on issues in the same way that I would consult with Michelle if there were issues. On the other hand, I don't think Michelle would claim that she is the best qualified person to be a United States Senator by virtue of me talking to her on occasion about the work that I've done.
Ready to go! Let's go change the world. Thank you, everybody.
The message is clear. Obama is game for a fight. And when we come back, why he thinks he can win.
I have COPD with chronic bronchitis, which makes it hard to breathe. But now that I'm breathing better with Advair, I can cheer my grandson to victory.
For people with COPD with chronic bronchitis, great news. Advair helps significantly improve lung function. While nothing can reverse COPD, Advair is different from other medications because it's the only product with an anti-inflammatory and a bronchodilator working together to help you breathe better. Advair won't replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms and should not be used more than twice a day. Lung infections, including pneumonia, have been reported with Advair. Taking Advair may increase your risk for osteoporosis and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking Advair, and ask about the risks and benefits of continuing Advair after 6 months.
Thanks for coming, Grandpa.
I wouldn't have missed it. Ask your doctor how Advair helps improve lung function for better breathing.
Find out how to get your first full prescription free at advaircopd.com.
You've been my financial advisor for what?
20 years.
Okay, for 20 years, he's been telling me to save for retirement. Now he's telling me it's okay to spend.
Right.
Explain.
Simple. I've got him in Fidelity's new retirement income program, so now he can keep doing what he wants.
Start spending some of that money.
Yeah, but you still got to be smart about it.
You buy lunch.
I always buy lunch.
Retirement income now made easier. Call 1-800-FIDELITY or your own advisor. Smart move.
Jimmy Fever is sweeping the country on Jimmy Kimmel Live, coming up on ABC.
The closest competition ever. The most buzzed about season in history. Tomorrow, which star will be crowned champion? Plus, a performance from Celine Dion. Dancing with the Stars 2-hour grand finale live tomorrow, 9/8 Central on ABC.
Hey, Jack. I thought you were getting a Toyota Corolla.
Well, I was. Then I found out this Mazda 3's got more interior room, more standard horsepower, and been getting some great reviews. I don't see why anyone would get a Corolla.
Right now, get 0.0% APR financing on the 08 Mazda 3, 4-door, and 5-door. Discover a better way, the Zoom Zoom way, at your Mazda dealer now.
And back now to Barack Obama. When I spent the day with him in Iowa over the weekend, you could sense the excitement he nearly always generates, but the constant campaigning still can take a toll, and he still has a lot to prove. Out on the campaign trail with Barack Obama, some things are getting a little old, like lunch.
Is it chicken or fish? Is it chicken? Chicken? Rice for a change? Did we get rice? Yeah.
Whatever he's eating, it's working for Obama as he is hitting his stride on the stump in this state after some poor reviews earlier in the campaign.
We've got enough of folks like that in Washington. We don't need another politician who's not saying what he thinks.
He's not a perfect candidate. He can, like all of them, drone on a bit here and there, but he's clearly having fun.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody.
And some of that fun is coming at Hillary and Bill Clinton's expense, like this little jab, a reference to Hillary's staff getting caught planting a question in a crowd.
All right, this is the fun part. We got some time for questions and answers. These questions have not been pre-screened or predetermined. You just give me your best shot.
Well, there's this answer to a questioner later in the day.
They've asked other presidents that were running, did they inhale? Is that?
I did. It's not something I'm proud of. It was a mistake as a young man, but, you know, I mean, I'm not going. I never understood that line. The point was to inhale. That was the point.
One reason Obama's getting tough in Iowa now is because he has, like others, bet the farm here.
One of the things you're telling voters here is that Iowans will choose the next leader of the free world.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you're saying if you lose here, you're done.
No, but what I think is true is that, and this is true of all candidates, not just me, I think if you don't do well in Iowa, it's going to be hard to make up for it later. Just because the calendar now is so compressed, that I think it actually has magnified the influence of these early states.
But are you also saying that if Hillary can't be stopped here, she's not going to be stopped?
Well, there's another way of looking at it. If I can't be stopped here.
But that Iowa's do or die. So if you don't...
Look, I don't think anything's do or die. But what I will say is this. I think that you have to do well. If you don't make a certain cut in Iowa, I think you're going to have problems elsewhere.
But it's not necessarily first.
Oh, I don't think you have to be first. But I do think that you've got to do well. And certainly I would suggest that the overwhelming favorite who has been touted as inevitable over the last 6 months better win Iowa. Don't you think?
Expectations came on her.
Well, that's all I know is you guys have been measuring the curtains for a while. And you're telling me she can get away with not winning Iowa?
But Obama still must answer a fundamental question. Is he ready? At 46, he's been in the Senate less than 3 years.
You know, this whole argument about, well, you know, he speaks well, you know, he's got good ideas, but he needs more experience. You know, you hear that sometimes. What they really mean is I haven't been in Washington long enough. You know? They want to boil all the hope out of me.
Obama got himself in trouble this summer when he declared he would negotiate directly with the leader of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad.
If we can work out a deal, that's something that we should be open to.
President Obama would do a deal with Iran.
I think what you want is carrots and sticks. The notion that this is controversial indicates the degree to which the Bush-Cheney administration have shifted the debate in such a profoundly damaging way. I mean, think about it. We negotiated with Stalin. We negotiated with Mao.
Another stop, the last of the day in tiny Audubon, Iowa, and it's hurry up and wait.
Waiting for the sound, guys?
Then, as Obama waits backstage, the local mayor mispronounces his African name.
Barack Obama.
But here, as elsewhere, the crowd listens closely to Barack Obama's real argument that he is tomorrow, a fresh face who represents a real change from our bitter, polarized politics.
I will not be a perfect president, but here's what I can promise you. I will always tell you what I think. I will always tell you where I stand. I will be honest with you about the challenges we face.
And when you talk to Iowa voters who come to hear Obama, you get the sense they know they just might be part of something big here, something historic. Dave Bringman is undecided, but moved by it all.
He's looking for change. He doesn't seem to be afraid of change. He's looking to create a new atmosphere. I like that. We need a new atmosphere.
It would be an historic thing. Barack Obama.
Wouldn't it be awesome to have that face representing this republic to the world? Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah.
Finally, Des Moines. The hotel is home away from home, where his wife and 2 daughters wait for a call.
End of the long day. And longer.
What's the hardest thing about doing this?
Being away from the kids. They're at this great age, 9 and 6. Everything they do is remarkable in some way. They're growing all the time, and they have funny things to say and all these insights. And, I get them secondhand.
It's a long road with a remarkable long shot prospect at the end of it.
Do you really think that you can win this whole thing? President Barack Obama?
Oh, absolutely. The only reason to do this is because, A, I believe I can win. And I think that increasingly political professionals who watch what we're doing think we can win as well. And B, I think I should win. And frankly, there are times in our country's history where I might not be the right person for the job. I think that now, actually, the skills that I have and the experience that I bring is suited to the task at hand. And the question will be whether the American people agree with me.
Well, today the jabs continued. Even before the Clinton campaign saw our entire interview, they responded with this. Considering that Senator Obama was a state senator just 3 years ago, he is the last person to be questioning anyone's experience. If he is elected, he would have less experience than any American president of the 20th century. Unquote. There are now 38 days until the Iowa caucuses.